Good evening, all you awesome people out there. My name is Scott Churchson. That is Mr. Robert Lecking, and that is Mr. Davion Boozy. And welcome to Tales from the Film Set on Zingo TV, channel 249 250, also known as Spanglish World Network. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app on the app stores of iOS and Android. When you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. Both apps are free. Zingo TV, by the way, is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and all smart TVs 2016 and forward. Good. I got the legal stuff out of the way. Let's roll. So, hope you guys are doing well. We got a bunch of stuff on the horizon right now. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on in the world of Netflix because, shock upon shock, they lost money. We're going to be talking a little bit about some weird casting choices. I may go off a little bit, and I'll have a little vent session that we just had before about annoying background people and how much I really don't want to be around them. But before getting to that, how you guys doing? You doing all right?
Doing great.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic.
Fabu. Okay. So in this case here, yeah, let's crack this open. We're going to be talking a little Netflix in this case because Netflix, like I said, for the first time in 10 plus years, actually took a loss in their subscriber count. There's a lot of theories behind this. There's a lot of concerns about this. I can't say I'm particularly surprised. How about you guys?
Yeah, no, the other day I read something online how UK had lost, a lot of their subscribers due to the fact that, a lot of people in the UK, they're still kind of reeling from this pandemic thing, and I don't know if it's that they're not making enough money, that kind of thing, but they're just kind of tightening their belts as far as what I read. So, I would imagine that has a lot to do with it because the UK, they love American TV. So that's what I've read anyway. But 200,000 subscribers in the last quarter, and they're expecting 2 million more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
D, you got any thoughts on that?
I'm just as shocked as everybody else because I watch Netflix on some occasions when they have certain things that's good. So that means a lot of people have dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not at all surprised because I have a Netflix account and I barely ever use it.
Same here. Same
I
here.
mean, I pay for it every month, like $13 or whatever it is, $15, whatever it is now.
It's going up. It's going up.
Yeah, that's another thing entirely. The fact that these prices keep going up, but my usage of it continues to drop. I can't believe it, but Hulu is my go-to.
Yeah. Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, Hulu,
Disney Plus,
Amazon,
Plus.
Disney Plus. But yeah, I mean, heck, even YouTube. I get so much more use out of paying for YouTube than I ever do out of Netflix. And I mean, Netflix has some stuff that's going to help save it a little bit. They got Stranger Things season 4, which may help somewhat, but I'm not sure if people are really that still passionate about Stranger Things anymore. But a lot of the stuff that they've got, I'm just kind of like, don't really care.
Yeah, I was reading earlier today that a lot of people were like saying, the content's crappy and they're going up on their prices. I really don't watch that much Netflix myself either. So, I mean, yeah, I totally get it personally.
Like, no, I can't say it's crappy because there's some good. There's some like good shows, good films, good anime series that Netflix have. Like, I think it's just a matter of what's catching the people's interest. Like I just mentioned about an anime called Kodu Lives Alone.
I've heard of it.
That was pretty much a really good show compared to we was talking about how the kids live by themselves or do responsibilities that adults do.
Old enough.
Yeah.
Which I know Rob has a few thoughts on that show.
Yeah. No. Definitely.
By the way, we got.
But that's the same thing as Kodos Live Alone. Oh, sorry.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
that's You know what's funny? Brandon K just put a comment on here. So off topic, but you guys see and hear Thor: Love and Thunder use the incredible use of "Sweet Child of Mine." Brandon K is a hardcore Guns N' Roses fan. He's one of those ones that basically, if you don't like Guns N' Roses, he cannot be your friend. Yes, actually, when I saw that trailer yesterday, I heard that theme, and they played a lot of that theme all the way through that. And it was funny because I'm sitting there listening to this and thinking to myself,
sweet
I
child
wonder
of
if Brandon watched this trailer yet. Apparently you did.
mine.
You know,
Like,
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's Thor number 4 at this point.
yeah,
Um,
like this to me, like Thor 4, which is Love and Thunder, I think it's more of a transition,
you know,
passing
Disney
the
did a lot of
baton.
that. Mhm. To Natalie Portman,
More,
though. I mean, yeah,
He says that kid
the kid
from
from Australia.
Australia won't see the movie, right?
And that's
but
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
but here's
that's
the
that's an
thing.
inside reference there. But sorry, go ahead.
But my question to everybody is, y'all see the guns on Natalie Portman?
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
dude.
You see the
Remember,
gun?
this is the girl that was trained to be an assassin as a teenager underneath Jean Reno in The Professional.
Yeah,
Nobody remembers before she was kicking ass as Padme. She was trained to be a hit woman. You know, I
hey,
mean, it's
right.
yeah. Natalie
at
Portman, I got
like 12
100%.
years old, 12 years old or something like that, or how
Yeah,
old was she?
yeah, she was like 12 or 14 or something like that. Which, by the way, actually in the original version of the script, they actually were romantically involved, which changes the
Ooh,
dynamic.
yeah, seems a little
But
odd.
as far as
Yeah.
that, I mean, like I said, this is Padme Amidala. You know, I like Padme in episode 1 and episode 2, not so much in episode 3 because she just spent the entire time barefoot and pregnant. But as far as Portman, oh, totally, I can 100% see it. But I think you're right. I think it is kind of a transition there. But I like the fact that the trailer showed him working out to get rid of Endgame Thor.
Yeah.
You know,
Wait, you mean that
Oh,
depression, that anxiety,
dude,
that
you know. But I mean, Disney is trying to, and I'm going to throw Marvel into the mix. Disney is trying to change the old guard into the new guard, and I'm noticing a lot of what they're doing is changing from guy-centric character to female-centric characters. I mean, you saw it, for example, with Hawkeye switching over to Kate Bishop. There's some very, very, very strong rumors. I'm curious about the accuracy, and I want to get Ryan's take on it. That the new Obi-Wan series is going to be centering around a new character and Obi-Wan himself is going to take a little bit more of a back seat in his own series. A lot of people were agitated by that. Star Wars Theory had a whole thing on this, and I trust that guy because he's basically the biggest YouTube source when it comes to Star Wars. And he's like, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. And the fans, if that's true, the fans are going to go be livid by this. But, back to Netflix for a sec.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me, for Netflix, I haven't used it in like a month. You know,
Well, what were your shows that you watched?
Yeah.
comedies and cartoons. You know,
Okay.
I don't do documentaries. Netflix, by the way, is fairly intuitive to what I want. Hulu is terrible. Hulu will basically be like, do you want to read? Do you want to watch something about the Kardashians? No. How about Britney Spears?
Well,
No.
How
about sex cults? No.
I kind of get the feeling that like Hulu is more about like the extension of regular TV. So, I mean, as far as content and things like that, you're going to be able to get the same thing that you would get like on ABC primetime or something,
Right.
or one of these other popular channels kind of things. So with like Netflix though, you're getting like content that's more off the beaten track kind of thing, or I know that like a few years ago, didn't they spend like $20 billion on new content that they were trying to develop over the next 5 years or something like that? That
They probably did,
yeah. It was like when I was in college, we were doing a case study based on Netflix and their strategy and how they operate and everything. I was in the television business management course at Drexel, so I mean, Netflix, a lot of these like networks and things like that. We had to do like our case studies and things like that, our weekly papers on what we found based on what was going on in the industry at that time, kind of thing. So I think it was 2017, I want to say 2017, Netflix spent nearly $20 billion to acquire a lot of different like production companies,
Mhm.
Mhm.
a lot of like different storylines. But yeah, they were trying to expand in a way that would give them the opportunity to be able to like, I don't know, like families, that kind of thing,
Mhm.
you know, to involve families but it just sort of kind of went away, you know. I don't know the content that I've noticed online, but then again though too, it's like your preferences in the shows that you like to watch kind of thing
Mhm.
that kind of comes up a little bit more than as far as what, you know, Netflix has to offer because you like a particular movie like Billy Madison, let's say. You know, I like Billy
Actually, I have a
Madison.
weird problem with that movie, but go ahead.
Well, just the fact
But
that like
I know what you're saying. I know. Yeah. So,
yeah.
but
So because you like that particular film, they're gonna like show you more options as far as, you know, content related to Billy Madison as an
and that's
example.
and that's the thing about Netflix that is good. Like I said, Hulu is terrible with that. Hulu, my entire thing right now is like, I just finished Brockmire. One Piece is on there. Basically Celebrity Family Feud. You know, you get the
Mhm.
feel of what I'm doing here. 30 Rock, which is a little weird with the whole Alec Baldwin thing, but leave that out for a sec. What We Do in the Shadows. You get the idea of what I'm doing. And then it continues to send me something about basically like, like child Christian cults. I'm like, no. Okay, we'll pass this on. Well, how about this thing about polygamist wives? It's like, no, no,
Mm,
you know, how you
yeah.
know, yeah. How about, like I said, how about that Kardashian? How about Mama June from Not the Hot? No.
No,
And it's like, dude, it's like, are you even trying?
Well, I'll
no.
tell you, I'll tell you, a
I
new
start laughing. It's
series,
so funny looking at this stuff, man.
a new series. Well, all right. I mean, it's been around for a while. Obviously, it's a spin-off from Breaking Bad.
Call us all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sam.
Better Call
Oh, Sam.
Saul. I
Mhm.
was watching season 6, episode 1 and 2 last night. Okay, and I was reminded to the fact that like, okay, yeah, Netflix, and I think, well, just Netflix. Okay, Netflix has the first 5 seasons
Mhm.
available, which is good. I like that because it gives me the opportunity to be able to like binge watch up until, okay, I'm getting myself ready for season 6.
Mhm.
Ooh, it's coming. Um, but yeah, it's like they're there to offer like the popular shows and things,
Mhm.
Right.
you know, that people want to watch. It's just I think they kind of like lost touch with some things. Netflix.
Netflix did something. Devani, I think, yeah, Davian, you and I talked about this when Kevin Smith did his He-Man, and there
Yeah.
was a massive backlash on it, mainly because you killed off He-Man not once but twice in the first 5 episodes. He contacted Netflix. He's like, "Well, what do we do?" And we're like, what about what?" He's like, "Well, the fans are angry." It's like, "We don't care." Netflix literally told him, "We don't care what the fans think," and that might be part of the challenge
Mhm.
because you've gotten so big that you have no issue as far as basically what your fans go. Now,
Right.
I will tell you something on the personal side on Netflix that a lot of people do not know. In the SAG union contract, there is something that is required to be offered called a safety ride. So if it's after 9:30 at night and you're in places above, I think like 53rd Street, down below West Fourth, or Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Staten Island, New Jersey, they have to at least offer you the opportunity to take you back to a safe area. So Grand Central, Penn
I've heard of that.
Station, or Herald Square, basically one of the main primary areas. There is a stipulation in the Netflix contract that says that they do not legally have to offer that to you. So
Oh,
if
stick
you
them in the you know what.
so what happened was there was a Netflix movie that I'd worked way back in August. I was 3 blocks from the path from the. That doesn't always make sense to me, but I found out about it when I was there that they don't actually offer this. And then what happened the next night is because they didn't. There was a woman that actually got mugged on the way to the subway. It was a
I,
3 block walk. She had to pick up like the D train, whatever it was. She got mugged
I
going there.
remember. I remember
You
you
know,
talking about that.
and yeah, and it's because of the fact that they did not legally have to offer that safety van, which every other place has had to. Apple has always offered it. the episodics, like the main networks have always offered it, but Netflix has a stipulation that says, nope, we're saving money on transfer.
I would have stuck it to them, man. Stick it right there,
dude. It's like I said, but that's Netflix for you.
Yeah, they
and
would have looked at you and said, "Nope, okay, whatever."
Yeah, I mean, on the other side of the coin is there's so much product out there, and there's so many things that are filming in New York, not just CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, but also like Apple TV. Hulu's got stuff, Amazon's got stuff, I mean, the cables networks, the HBOs and everything like that. Amy Schumer season 5 is filming right now. So there's so much going on that you don't really have to rely on Netflix. But that's the mentality that has gotten a lot of people irked because, I ran into a guy yesterday and he knew that person that got mugged. Yeah. And that, like I said, after 9:30 at night, they're supposed to offer it. But Netflix is like, no, we legally don't have to, so we're not going to.
Isn't somehow like Netflix related or like owned by Amazon or something like that? Or I don't know.
Netflix owns themselves, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Google has its own parent company, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But Amazon owns itself, which surprises me that they're actually doing a new show on Amazon Prime because I don't think anybody actually used Amazon Prime for actually watching TV.
Well, they shooting here in New York though.
For Prime?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings is the one I'm thinking of for September.
Yeah.
And they were shooting The Boys.
They shot that
here? Boys here in New York?
I think so.
It might have been under an alias name because that happens a lot with some of the bigger productions. Where they let it
Magnus
go.
Rex. Magnus Rex.
Magnus Rex. Yes, the alias name for Dark Knight Rises was Magnus Rex. The alias, by the way, the alias name for Men in Black 3. Men in Black 3. Dude, they transformed on 2 consecutive Saturdays, all of New York City into like 1969 because obviously the movie takes place there, and just thousands of people there watching this as it went down, and Will Smith is basically sitting there doing his Will Smith stuff before he started slapping SNL actors. But it was they didn't care. But a lot of productions will sit there and you'll use an alias name, and you have to make sure you do an alias name. The Spider-Man or the Marvel stuff always does here. I think the first Spider-Man movie was Summer of George, which was a Seinfeld reference, and the second one that was filmed here had another Seinfeld reference as well. I can't remember what it was. It was something like Serenity Now or something was the name of it. So, but yeah, it was weird because, like I said, in the Netflix side of things, I pay for it, but I don't use it, and I don't really know. I can't say I'm surprised because you have so much competition out there. All empires got to fall.
You think so?
Everything in its own time will fall.
Right. Like because I really believe that Netflix is probably going to have its pick-me-up moments. Like, okay,
it will.
This help, and then probably when everything stops becoming a big major thing, and we already got the major stuff out of it, then it drops down, and then you got the big thing, then it drops down.
Here's the problem, I think, with Netflix versus, I will say in this case, Hulu, Amazon, and through Disney Plus, and also YouTube. Netflix has programming. Fine. They got some gaming stuff that they're working on right there. But Hulu's benefit, like Rob said, Hulu, basically, you can watch today's TV tomorrow and commercial free, which is a nice thing, in this case.
Yeah.
And also has a lot of live games. So on Sunday mornings, I watch cricket because you never get cricket here, but you get it on Hulu. So I'm sitting there like watching Sri Lanka versus India, cricket because it's just fun. Amazon, like I said, you have the Amazon Prime part of it. So you can obviously order all that kind of stuff. Disney has all the Disney stuff and all the Marvel stuff. And YouTube obviously is dropping content every single second of every single day. Right. But by comparison, what does Netflix really have to set it apart from the rest of them? It has a big library, sure, but what does it have that really makes it stronger than the rest of them?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But, I mean, even right now, it's funny because actually Netflix is being sued by, like, the citizens of Russia because, because Netflix shut off access to Russia because of the invasion to the Ukraine. So, like, 200 so odd thousand people have signed a petition and sued Netflix on the grounds that they've lost access. It's like, dude, we want our Netflix back.
Like, look, and some of them said they never approved of the war.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too. Yeah, I mean, hell, even the Revolutionary War here in the States, only one third were in favor of the colonies. 1/3 didn't care, and 1/3 were in favor of the British.
Yeah.
So not what they teach you in school, by the way. Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
But as far as Netflix goes, like I said, there's not anything that really sets it apart and makes it a stronghold like it was. I mean, binge watching was Netflix. 10 almost 10 years ago, when season 4 of Arrested Development came out, that's what got me to buy Netflix. And the idea of dropping 15 episodes in one shot and just watch one after another was something nobody had ever seen before. Now, when you have to wait a week, you're like, what the hell? This sucks.
Because I remember ordering Netflix when they were doing DVDs and Blu-rays and sending it to your house.
Yeah. And then you got the plan where you can get 2 DVDs if you want instead of just one.
Yeah.
You're paying that extra $2 or whatever it was.
Even that was unique, like I said. But now at this point, there's been so much that's taken over Netflix, just with all the streaming services, that Netflix in a lot of ways doesn't have the same pull, and when it pays buckets of money for a movie like The Irishman, it's like, okay,
exactly.
you pay,
That's what I was talking about earlier with them spending like $20 billion just to, acquire different like production companies and different like, scripts and stuff like that. Insane.
I mean, Orange is the New Black is off at this point. I don't know what new show. I mean, Stranger Things, like I said, but I think people have lost some level of interest in Stranger Things after 3 years.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know if what's on there that's absolutely 100% captivating as heck. Cobra Kai, sure, new time.
The Witcher. The Witcher.
Yeah, okay, The Witcher.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai, yeah, definitely. I mean,
that's still months away anyway.
Yeah, but at least they're coming up with, new content and everything that's already probably, it's already been like shot and everything and it's in the can, but, still, it's like, they're bringing that out kind of thing. It's brand new.
Yeah, but still months away. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think, the natural order of things is that in time, all empires have to fall. It's what they do. Netflix is an empire, and at some point in the future, it will fall also because something is going to overtake it. And then it'll be bought out by, I don't know, Google, And God help, if they ever had a streaming service of their own. Oof. So,
like, we can do it.
We can build it. Yes, we can.
And it will fall.
Yes, it will. But anyway, we'll see what happens with this. Like I said, Netflix is in panic mode somewhat. They may not drop prices, but apparently there's talk that they may add ads into it. So you might have commercials inside, which that's going to kill it right there.
I mean, especially if you're paying $20 a month. I think didn't it go up to like $19 a month? Something like that for Netflix.
What do I pay? I'm literally pulling on my budget right now. Netflix, I pay. Well, I rounded it up to $15 a month, so probably like $14.95.
So
whatever's the one with the 2 people.
They just recently announced that they're coming. They're going up again. So if you're paying that amount of money for Netflix, right, and you're getting advertisements, that seems a little odd.
Yeah, it's sort of what like Hulu does, where they have a tiered plan where you can, have the one with the commercials or the one, without them. I paid for the one without because I hate commercials and they just really just piss me off.
Oh, of course.
Because it'd be the same thing over.
Well, the United States apparently has the most commercials of any country in the world.
Right.
Apparently, we have more than the rest.
We were talking about because Better Call Saul last night when I was watching the episodes and everything. We were talking. What was it? A couple Fridays ago, we were talking about how like the high definition audio and everything just sort of kind of like was getting on my nerves and everything. Okay,
yes, because
So Better Call Saul has that audio and everything, and I was just I had to like turn it all the way down and everything. I forget where we're going with this. But oh man, what we were talking about?
Wait, take your time.
Potato
So-
salad and ninjas.
That's right. We were talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
By the way, let me know if you hear that beep in a second, right there.
Yeah.
You do hear it?
I don't.
All right, I will be right back. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Right now, basically, let's see. Here, let's throw a quick comment in there. Tim Curry was almost the Joker. Go, Davion, all yours.
You know,
Tim Curry was almost the Joker.
see, I could actually see that though, because
I could kind of see that in a sense.
he was a pretty wild character in The Fifth Element, right? You know, he played the bad guy in the film.
No,
Right.
that was crap baskets. Gary Old. No, that was Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. You're right.
By the way, the dryer was going with beeping every 5 minutes. Sorry about that.
Oh.
So, I thought I could
Tim
get away
Curry?
with it, but I couldn't. Yeah, Tim Curry.
Go ahead.
Wow. Like I can almost see it, especially when he did was it the what's that one when he dressed up as a in that Rocky Horror?
Yeah. Yeah, Tim Curry
Tim
was actually
Curry.
this. Mark Hamill had gone on record by talking about how absolutely intimidated he was because he had to basically replace Jack Nicholson from the live-action Joker a couple years prior, and then came on the heels of Tim Curry not working out, and then they brought in Luke Skywalker to be the Joker.
Oh.
You know,
That's funny.
so. But,
I will say, yeah, I could actually see Tim Curry playing the Joker. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay.
Especially that
Crazy as it
devious
was.
smile.
That
devious smile he does.
yes,
definitely.
you know, like when he has
I
it
mean-
in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely worth being able to see at least. I mean, they should have done at least, you know, what do they call that? Like, where they have at least the actor come up and like be on screen test.
Yeah.
Made that available at least.
Yeah. And besides having Jack Nicholson freezes his face,
Mhm.
he had someone that was a natural.
Well, funny thing about that with Jack Nicholson for Batman, he only took he figured this movie was going to flop. I don't know if you guys heard of this or not. So
No.
he only took like $4 million on it, as opposed to getting a percentage of gross, which is offered to him. And he would have, if he went percentage of gross, he would have made like $150 million on it. But instead, he made $4 million. And he's like, "Don't cry for me. I made $4 million on this movie." But yeah, you do have to think once in a while. It's like, what if I made a different choice?
Yeah. At least 110 more million.
Exactly. You know. Now, if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail that I cleverly put together for this show. Very proud of my work on that, by the way. I just want to point that out. Do you know who the first choice was? Not Jack Nicholson, to play Jack Torrance in The Shining.
No,
Oh.
that's a good question.
Robin Williams?
Bingo.
Whoa!
Yes.
Devani, man, you're the man.
Yeah. Do you know why they didn't go with him?
Because I would think that because at that point in time, he was considered to be like over the top comedic.
Mhm.
You know, because like with Jack Nicholson, I mean, he was doing a lot of like dramatic type films and things like that. But with Robin Williams to come in from doing like Mork and Mindy, okay, and then to become like, you know, the biggest. I mean, because we'll just say that, like, you know, The Shining actually did really well, you know, for it being the film that it was and everything.
Stephen
But
King hates it, but yeah.
you're right. You're right. You know, and Stanley Kubrick deviated from the book,
Mhm.
but you know, to bring Robin Williams in to be Jack Torrance, I couldn't see that, but at the same time, I'm like thinking, you know, that's possible, but that's just me. So
Go ahead.
I remember watching 1 Hour Photo.
Okay.
Very unique, little bit twisted. But
didn't
when you watch,
but didn't that come later though?
yeah, but it's something that Robin Williams
I
had
know
to
exactly where you're going with. Yeah.
test out. Like it wasn't bad. Like I think seeing Robin Williams, knowing who he is, knowing what type of character he plays, it wouldn't be a good pick based upon. Yes, he's silly on behind the scenes as well. But can you believe him because he does nothing but comedic roles? God rest his soul, but it was more heartfelt. It was more meaningful. So, in the sense of, as an actor's perspective, somebody looking at him on film, it's more, yeah, I couldn't really see him playing that character.
Kubrick felt that Robin Williams was too psychotic. He would have been too. Yeah. Conversely, another choice that he was looking at possibly was Robert De Niro, who he figured was not, in fact, psychotic enough. So, this porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. This porridge, paid by Jack Nicholson, is just right.
Al Pacino. Now I was talking actually with the director for the Actors Studio. She told me that with Jack Nicholson, it took him nearly 13 times auditioning to get into the Actors Studio because the people on the panel realized that Jack Nicholson wasn't the best actor that he could be. So over the course of 12 years, it took him that many times to get into the Actors Studio.
Now,
interesting.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Jack Nicholson, nobody remembers this, but Jack Nicholson, you could see his personality in Little Shop of Horrors, the original one. In 1960, the black and white version of Little Shop of Horrors. He played the masochistic patient. So if you remember Little Shop of Horrors, the musical one with Rick Moranis and everybody thought Steve Martin, the character of the masochist was played by Bill Murray. The guy who loves, getting pain. He's in the dentist chair and he's in unbridled ecstasy as his teeth are getting drilled. Jack Nicholson played that character in the first one, in the original one. And you're like, yeah, I can see it. I can see him playing this kind of persona. And it's something I don't think Jack Nicholson talks about 62 years after the fact. But you saw that kind of talent and that personality way back at that point.
Right.
And,
True, but now could he play that role, though? That's the question. I mean, yeah, he could probably play the role and everything, but, when you're a director and you're casting for that particular thing, I mean, would you be able to cast him in that role?
Yeah. I could do it. I mean, he could do it. I think in some cases you get people that honestly would fail epically. I have some questions. Well, if Sandra Bullock was Neo in The Matrix, I don't know if she could be dark enough.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a thing.
Okay, guys, the show is over.
Something that was considered?
You can find us at Tales on the Film Set on Twitch.
I'm just asking, is that something that was considered at some point? Or
yes, it was. It totally was.
What?
Yeah,
Sandra Bullock as
Sandra
Neo?
Bullock. Yes, I forget exactly. I know why Will Smith said no, but there was a reason why Sandra Bullock said no, and I can't remember what it was.
Because I think it has something to do with LBGT, maybe.
I don't know. This was like 1998, 99, but
because I know could be like you don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the name? What was you thinking about? Yeah, The Matrix. Yeah. Brain fart. So
yeah. So it could be any way you could think about why Sandra Bullock can't. I'm not saying it. It is true, but it could be anything. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know. So,
could
be money.
Yeah, she said she just wasn't interested. So at the end of the day, it didn't matter much.
Oh,
yeah. So she's ready. Yeah, because originally, look, they were considering actually if Sandra Bullock wanted to do the role, they would change Neo to a girl and flip some stuff around. Probably, change who Trinity might have been. Yeah. So
and then Keanu Reeves will play the person.
He'll play.
I know what the Oracle said to me. I know that
Morpheus.
you're the one because the Oracle said that I would be in love with the one, and that's you, Sandra Bullock. I love you.
Kate Moss.
And
though,
then
I
wait.
mean,
Oh my God! I can't believe it. I can't believe that you love it.
Amazing. Oh, Sandra Bullock. was so good.
And
then
you'd
she'd
be like,
yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, then she ended up in Matrix 4.
wasn't
Bitch,
that like
Sandra-
Jada Pinkett? When's she in the fourth one or the third
She was
one?
in she was in 2, 3, and 4.
2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because the latest one that just came out, she was like an older lady that was like
right.
the
Spoiler
elder.
alert, 60 years after the fact.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Woke
Yeah, well,
message.
I didn't hate Matrix Revolution. I mean, here's the resuscitation, regurgitation, whatever it was. It had enough member berries that it kept me happy. But I figure if I went back a second time, I will probably be like, this is a terrible movie. But I like the hell out of it as Matrix 4 as a Where Are They Now? Also, because it was HBO Max. Also, throw HBO Max into the streaming service mix we were talking about before. Because it was HBO Max, I was like, well, I've already got the account anyway. Just screw it. I'll just, watch it.
They should have at least included Will Smith in some kind of role. I mean, even if he wasn't like cast as Neo, he should have been some kind of like elder at this point.
Naomi's husband, perhaps?
Could have been. Could have been. Sure.
Oh Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh, shit.
But I mean, Will Smith turned that role down too because he didn't get the script. He just didn't understand what it was.
Sure.
I got one for you though. Oh, all right. Sorry, we're going through a list right now of like woulda, couldas, and almost were as far as movies.
Yes.
I'm doing some stuff to get your reaction here. So we were talking about Batman. We're going back to that well one more time. It obviously went to Michael Keaton, and there were some concerns at the time because the guy who played Beetlejuice and Mr. Mom would be taking up the mantle as Batman. Mm-hmm. Understandable concerns. Right. Some of the casting choices that they had gone with or considered: Alec Baldwin. Okay, I can see a little bit of badassery depending on the circumstance. Harrison Ford. Fair. You could see Harrison Ford being badass enough. I mean, you saw him like in The Fugitive. You can kind of see.
He seems like he's older,
Yeah. It wasn't like Harrison Ford from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
At his prime.
Which I can get into that one at length. The other option that was, and I'm looking at this right now to get my notes just to make sure I'm, how I want to word this, and I'm looking you guys very in the face. The possibility to play Batman, Steven Seagal.
Oh boy, Steven Seagal.
Yeah. I got the article in front of me here.
Wait, we gotta hear it.
Okay.
This is serious.
The executives were like Steven Seagal because he had the movie Above the Law, which was like his breakout role, and people were like, "Okay, he can fight. He's got the look."
No.
Now Steven Seagal turned the role down because he assumed that Batman would flop, and because he could, quote, destroy Michael Keaton with his pinky toe.
Well, what's Michael Keaton got to do with the freaking, Steven Seagal being in the running for anything?
Okay.
Come on.
And Steven Seagal, forgive me. I'm sorry.
I might have had to cut the ponytail though.
I can't even get my thoughts together. Wait.
Oh,
we're gonna be serious.
I want to point out today is 419, not 420.
I know. I gotta get my thoughts together. I'm sorry. Oh God. Okay.
Yes.
Steven Seagal as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting styles, you're on point. Delivery and acting, unforgivable.
Yeah. That's where I'm gonna have to step in and say, just his delivery and and his machismo.
You have to play two characters.
Comment just came in. Steven Seagal as Batman. I know the cocaine was a big thing in those times, but seriously.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
I'm
but
not
no.
putting the man down. I mean, he's done a lot of great films, but
Oh,
you
God.
know, at the time,
And
I
one
can't
really
see
odd
that.
reality show, I believe, where he was a cop or something. Yeah, but I figured, like I said, I knew I
So
had to
is a
sit there
cop.
and get
He's a
your
cop in
reaction.
Russia or something like that.
Well, yeah, because he was like there was one movie with
He's a cop
Seagal where,
show.
yeah, there was some movie. Wasn't there a movie where he was like a chef or something?
Yeah,
On like
Under
a crew
Siege.
on a
That's right.
battleship or something.
Yeah,
Under
Under Siege.
Siege.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right.
And there's two of those, two Under Sieges, I think, right?
Under Siege and
Under
Under
Siege
Siege.
1 and
Which,
Under Siege
Yeah,
2.
okay.
I
Where
forgot
they
what
were
the
going
time.
through they were going through Colorado, and the whole mountains in there were
Yeah.
like keeping them from being able to communicate with the outside world, kind of thing.
I was going to say, was Willem Dafoe going to blow up the boat?
Dark
You know?
Territory.
Or and had to be saved by Jason Patrick, and Sandra Bullock. Yeah, so we have that. Let's see, what else can we pull up here?
I'm sorry. That made my day. I'm sorry.
Okay, we have okay, this one might be equally bizarre. The original X-Men from the early 2000s. We had we weren't sure what to expect with that movie. Obviously, there's a lot of talk, and some people know this already, that Doug Ray Scott was originally supposed to be Wolverine, but he got tied up in post-production work with Mission Impossible 2, and he couldn't make the deadline. So Wolverine went to some unknown actor by the name of Hugh Jackman. That one we know.
Doug Ray, what was his name?
Doug Ray Scott. He was the main villain in Mission Impossible 2, which, in fairness, Mission Impossible 1 made big bank, so him doing the sequel was kind of a smart move at the time versus X-Men, because X-Men was a complete unknown. Nobody knew what to expect there. One of the names that came through is we had, Glenn Danzig from the Misfits, and also from Danzig. Also, by the way, out of Lodi here,
That's
where
right.
I live. But there was somebody who was mentioned in this case. Oh boy, Bob Hoskins.
Really? The comedian, Bob Hoskins.
Yes, the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Mario and Super Mario Brothers.
To play who?
To play Wolverine.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, the show is over. We gratefully love to have you here. We
popcorn is free.
Exactly.
Make
sure to tip your waitress that tried the chicken. Basically, the X-Men writer was a guy named Chris Claremont, and he watched some of the stuff that Bob Hoskins had done, and he liked him basically in a Tom Selleck movie called Lassiter, where he could turn into like instant rage, and his thought was, "Bingo, that's my Logan."
Oh, jeez.
And yeah.
Oh man, over the top.
Yes, which also is a good movie, by the way. I like the movie.
Don't get me wrong, I'm good.
We got 12 minutes left, but I want to drop one more bomb on you on this, and this is a good one.
I'm typing away.
Yeah,
are you sure it's a good one?
We're gonna go with this one, and then we'll just open it up to whatever you guys have. So, I don't know if you guys know about this one, but when it comes to biopics in the Civil War, dealing with things that certain cases have racial overtones, one of the people that comes up and gets a lot of credibility as a historical figure is the obviously late now Harriet Tubman.
Correct.
Harriet Tubman, obviously the Underground Railroad and everything that was involved there. One studio exec back in the late 1990s, around the time of Notting Hill, said, "I liked her in that. I think Julia Roberts would be a good Harriet Tubman."
Julia Roberts. Oh
yeah.
My God. See, that's what I don't get.
All three of us have left the show for different reasons at some point.
That's what I don't get. It's like this is, in a way, I can see that they
welcome
like
back.
Bruce Lee he came up with the idea for Kung Fu, the TV show. Okay, so back in the early 70s, studio execs didn't realize or didn't know that a mainstream Chinese actor could lead a show like Kung Fu. So they cast David Carradine, who is an American actor. Okay. Now, we're going with like different shades of skin color with this particular
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
So
this is not like Peter Lorre playing Mr. Moto, a Japanese man. If you go back to the 40s.
Right.
that's right. That's right.
Oh, wait. Shaft.
Shaft?
Yeah. Guess who they said should have been playing Shaft? Well, I'm just going by a joke.
Well, I mean,
that somebody
you got Richard Roundtree, you got Samuel L. Jackson, so I'm not sure which version. And there's a third one that just came out recently. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Is it
what
Snoop Dogg?
Donald Glover stated in his comedy show. He said, I would love to see what's the kid's name from Superbad? The
Michael
real
Cera?
skinny- Michael Cera
or
play
Jonah
Shaft.
Hill?
Play Shaft.
No. Dude, that's George Michael Bluth.
Oh my god! I think
George
my
Michael
head just,
Bluth, is not Shaft.
my head just exploded here. Oh my
He
god!
was like, no, if there be a black Spider-Man, then Michael Cera should play Shaft.
Exactly. Well, didn't you have something on Facebook the other day that it's like, what celebrity do you look like? And you came back with Brad Pitt.
No, the funny thing about it, the eyes. If you really look at my eyes, it's kind of close to there.
Well, you
I'm
have the
looking at
same
your
number,
eyes.
but I can't really see anything beyond that.
Well, you got two eyeballs.
Yeah, he's got a nose. He's got
Right,
here's
the
the
mouth.
thing. For varying degrees of reason, I do not, in fact, see you as Brad Pitt. It could be the hair too.
Wait a minute. I can
It's the
see you as
glasses. That's
Brad
what it is.
Pitt. I can see you as Brad Pitt.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
Yeah.
Scott, look, I'm done.
Yeah. I was gonna say basically, like, what do I look like? Well, maybe I could pull off a Brad Garrett, a shorter version of Brad Garrett.
I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Brad Garrett, who, by the way, was the voice of Hulk Hogan in Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling from the 80s.
Brother.
And
Yeah.
everybody loves Raymond.
Yes. He was also the guy that stole Jerry Seinfeld's car in an episode of Seinfeld. He also does this stuff for some sandwich chain now, too, or something, right? Jimmy John's.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you Jimmy John's. But here's the weird thing. Okay, when he did an episode of Law and Order SVU, Brad Garrett is like 6'8", 6'9". Law and Order, by the way, does not do the stand-in role like anyone else does. Because it's been around so long, the camera guys are just really solid with us.
Wait a minute, you're telling me that you did a stand-in for Garrett?
No, but you'll find out where this is going to go. You're not that far off in this case. I mean, the people I stand in for typically are like 5'10", 5'11", lighter skinned dudes. The little of the ginger thing. A little bit on the the chubbier blue collar kind of look. That's the guys I stand in for. Law and Order for 20 some odd seasons doesn't care. They just want a physical human, usually one of the people that work there 5 days a week. So they had a girl named Misha. Misha is Mariska's stand-in. They had Misha as Brad Garrett stand-in. And now Misha Whalen is like 5'4", 5'5", maybe 5'7" at most. Brad Garrett is 6'8". And they were just like, good enough. Give her an apple box. So they had her sitting on one of those big, giant wood boxes to match the height. But Law and Order does not really care as far as matching what it's supposed to be. Organized Crime, I had to stand in for that for something a few weeks back, and I was a pretty close match to this guy. But SVU, they don't care. So when Brad Garrett was on there, they actually had someone stand in for him who's like a 5'7" woman with extremely long hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I did a fun fact. I did an episode of NYC 22. I stepped
God, I
up.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I did it. I was in a scene with Adam Goldberg
Mm-hmm.
and an actress. Oh my God, if I forgot her name, but and she and I are friends on Facebook. But yeah, I had to stand on an apple box just to be in the lineup, the criminal lineup, because they had this particular guy that was bald. We all had to put like these bandages on our neck so that the witness could say, okay, well, it was him, But yeah, I mean, standing on those apple boxes, it makes you feel empowered in a way, I mean, it's like,
I worry I'm going to fall off.
well, that too, but you know, at the same time, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm like taller than the rest of you people. You know, I mean, it's great.
This is what it's like to look out on the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nose up like, yeah, I can smell y'all from down the hill.
It's tough to do, but somebody has to do it. You know.
Somebody has to do it.
Well, we were talking the sports show before about like the tallest NBA players of all time. Georgie Muresan was 7'8", and when you're that tall, you know, this is a 7-foot ceiling in this basement right here. He is 8 inches taller than that.
Well, so you'd have to kind of go like this to be able to watch inside the basement, then,
dude. I mean, he was 7'8". By the way, he was 7'8", 315. Manute Bol was 7'7", 200 pounds. He had a BMI of 17.7. He was actually clinically underweight.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, this is, by the way, Tales from the Sports Set. Now, I just want to point that out.
Right.
But yeah, we got about 4 minutes left. I want to see if you guys had any final thoughts, anything you wanted to go into before I shamelessly plug stuff.
Oh, I'm good. You know, I think that we had a pretty good show, and you know,
Exactly. We don't need Ryan here. No, just kidding.
Ryan, who's Ryan?
Exactly.
Come
Ryan
on.
Just to let everybody know that on Facebook there is confirmed that there is going to be another Sega Genesis video game adaptation to a movie,
which we need to get into in more detail. But yes, I want to go into that. Casting choices.
Oh, it's so hard.
Say that again. What's going on?
Streets of Rage, the movie.
They confirmed, and I called it. They confirmed it.
Really?
Well, I mean, Sega obviously did well with Sonic the Hedgehog, and this is a conversation I think for next week as a potential casting possibility, because I know that franchise extremely well.
Extremely well.
You know, Streets of Rage 2 was my favorite. 3 was weird, and 1 was just new. So, but I mean, you can't make that a comedy. That's got to be dark all the way through.
Streets of Rage.
I don't know. I can almost see Channing Tatum being Mr. X.
Or no, Keanu Reeves.
No, Mr. X has got to be a bigger dude.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, you have Streets of Rage 4. That's right. We got that one too. So actually, you got it in cartridge. Is that?
Huh?
You got it in cartridge format, yeah. Oh, that's DVD.
The PS4.
Cool. Nice.
It was well worth it.
Good. So, do it the raid. Like, okay, all right. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to do a breakdown on Streets of Rage, the movie. Also, you know what we should do? We should also do the breakdown of how Hollywood can screw it up, like they do most video game movies.
Everything.
Like, look, they screwed up Resident Evil. Mortal Kombat.
All right, you know what? I think we got this. We got this for next week's Tales or Grind My Gears Friday, but I think Tales is better for this. The breakdown, the casting choices of how to make it a great Streets of Rage movie and how to make it a terrible Streets of Rage movie.
All right.
Nice.
So anyway, yeah, we got to wrap this up at this point. By the way, thank you, Davion. Appreciate you. Thank you, Robert Leckington. Thank you. You appreciate it. This, by the way, tomorrow we got the Tales from the Film Set Twitch page and also YouTube. We have watch party for episode 4 for Moon Knight. We're more than halfway through at this point, so we're going to be knocking that out. If you want to reach me, by the way, reach me at talesfromthefilmset@gmail.com. Otherwise, send us a message at StreampunkENT on Twitter or Streampunk Entertainment on Facebook. For myself, Scott, Mr. Davion Lucy, Mr. Robert Leckington, have a great night. Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
See the hair in my hand.